Getting good sleep is a genuine life hack. Over the past 2 weeks, I've started going to bed at around 10 or 11 every night and getting up at 7 a.m. every morning. Before those 2 or 3 last weeks, I'm not going to lie to you, I was going to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning and getting up at 11 a.m. almost every day, which was just ruining my work. What I found when I started getting to bed at 10 and getting up at 7 is that my lingering feelings, very interestingly, my lingering feelings of anxiety and stress around my tasks and goals disappeared. I don't know if you can relate to this feeling of just having this underlying flavor of anxiety and stress in your life where your tasks don't really excite you and everything seems like such a burden. It's just irritating to go and sit down and record the video or write the video or whatever it is. If you can relate to that feeling, its name is sleep deprivation. You feel like shit all the time because you don't fucking sleep. Your mind drifts during your work, you get irritated over insignificant things, you can't stand to read for any length of time. It all leads back to your quality of sleep. I fucking promise you. When I finally got my sleep schedule in order, and I'm going to be explaining to you how I actually did this step by step later in the video, my brain stopped drifting during my work. I started being super productive. I was able to read again. I was calm, happy, peaceful. If you're walking around every day with the slight feelings of anxiety and stress and you feel kind of unproductive, I need you to ask yourself this question and answer it with brutally honest self-accountability. How have you slept over the last week? I guarantee you slept poorly. You got home from the gym, turned on your little battle royale bullshit, played it for 5 or 6 hours. Now you go to lay down in bed, but you're not actually sleeping. You start scrolling on TikTok. You scroll for a good 2-3 hours. Now you finally fall asleep. And even if you are the guy who went to bed after playing the video games and you didn't end up scrolling on your phone, you still ended up going to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning. And do not bullshit and beat around the bush with this whole, oh, but I'm just one of those people who functions on 6 hours of sleep. No, you're not, motherfucker. You as a human being are not physically designed to sleep for 6 hours and function at maximum capacity. I want you to go look up the Joe Rogan podcast with the sleep scientist Matthew Walker, because he'll explain in depth about why you cannot exist off 6 hours of sleep. There's like such a rare number of people who actually can, like Elon Musk rare type people that can do that. You can probably do this manageably once or twice a month, but any more than that and you're gonna burn out. You're not gonna be effective in anything that you do, in reading, the deep work you need to accomplish. It doesn't matter. Let me ask you this. After your 5 or 6 hours of sleep, did you wake up feeling energized enough to go and be productive without 2 cups of coffee and 3 energy drinks? No, motherfucker. Sleep is a basic human necessity. And if you're depriving yourself of it, grinding on Apex Legends or Minecraft into the inhuman hours of the night and early morning, then you're depriving yourself of a basic human necessity. Take a second and think about that underlying flavor of your life, the almost tangible feeling of just grossness that you can feel on a day-to-day basis. Think about that feeling where a small task like brushing your teeth and washing your face seems so burdensome. Think about those times during the middle of the day where you're with your friends or you're in the shower and you all of a sudden start to feel kind of sad and bummed out. Those times where you start thinking, oh man, I'm depressed. Guess what? No, you're not. You're tired. You are literally sleep deprived. You're stood there like a fucking zombie in your shower feeling so distressed and anxious because the last time you got a good night's sleep was when you were 3 years old and you went to sleep with your mom. You have to get good sleep. Again, it's a basic human necessity. Just like food or water, when you're deprived enough of a human necessity, you die. Or in this case, your life inevitably goes to shit. You have to get good sleep. And I used to get the limiting belief too, saying, oh, but I just can't go to sleep. I'm just not tired when I lay in bed. You need to overcome this limiting belief. And I'm going to help you do that with the advice in this video. So the way that you can fall asleep tonight, get that sweet REM sleep and have an epic day tomorrow, and then repeat that cycle like I do every single day, is through the following tactics. The first is to get tired during the day. The second is accountability, the coffee method. And the third is falling asleep, the fairy tale method. Stay tuned if stay tuned if you're not a little beta male with 7-inch biceps, because I'm going to explain each one of these tactics in depth in the rest of this video. If you find this sort of super specific advice to be helpful, go like the video and subscribe right now so you don't miss any more of my videos, and so that you can get more in-depth content like this one sent to your For You page. So number one is get tired during the day. Take a second and think about the reason why you supposedly can't fall asleep at night. I have a theory. Maybe it's because you did fuck all during the day, so you haven't used your body and made it tired, so now it doesn't want to fall asleep. This point is pretty self-explanatory. Work hard during the day so that you actually want to sleep at night. Study hard at school, work hard on your assignments at home, when you're in the gym, do good sets to failure, which, fun fact, actually results in muscle growth. Don't overcomplicate this. See a goal you want to achieve and work hard every day to achieve it. If you don't know what your purpose is right now, that's okay. You're probably young watching this video, so you have time to figure out what you want to do with your life. If your goal is simply to finish high school with good grades and college credit, that's totally acceptable. Just choose a goal. Once you choose it, all that's left to do is to work hard as fuck on it. Because really, this is not just about getting the sleep in order. Getting the sleep in order is part of having an entirely good life. Part of the reason you probably want to be getting better sleep is to work on your goals. So working on goals, getting good sleep, they work in tandem with each other like this. Hopefully that makes sense. The best method I've found for working hard is to create a rigid timetable for yourself. I've spoken about this before in this video, which is a full guide to overcoming your worst days. As an actionable step, take a screenshot of the screen right now and go create a timetable like this, where every single minute of the day is blocked off with a pre-planned task to work on. The reason I found the timetable to work so wondrously, and I think the reason you'll be surprised why it works so well, is that it keeps your brain from going into free roam mode and eventually turning towards TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat. Just doing the conscious act of thinking about the hours of the day and what to do in them, and then writing this down will wire your brain to automatically think of the productive tasks that you need to work on, removing the chance that you're going to skip writing that Pearl Harbor essay and go play Call of Duty instead. Because we humans are goal-striving mechanisms, and we have a creative mechanism within us that helps us accomplish tasks automatically. So when you bring this consciously to mind, it goes to that subconscious creative mechanism, and now your brain is automatically wired to go and work on this goal again instead of getting distracted. Creating a rigid timetable also works so well because you start to identify as a disciplined man who follows a schedule and gets his tasks done every day. The more that you do this, the more that you will rewire your brain to change your self-image and be more and more productive over time. So pause the video really quick and go create your own timetable for tomorrow. It'll take honestly 2 to 3 minutes maybe. When you create it, think about what your perfect day would look like and put that on the schedule. You, again, use the one on screen as a template. Don't copy exactly mine, but use it as a template. You know what I mean. Your day's not going to go perfectly as planned because there's going to be random things like, oh, we got to go to the store, or you need to go pick up your sibling or something like that. But I mean, even if you followed the timetable 60%, your life would improve a ton. Go create your perfect day timetable really quickly and then come back for the other points that are going to help you get to bed and get proper sleep. Number 2 is accountability, the coffee method. The single trick that not only got me going to bed at a good time and getting up at a good time, but that actually got me excited to go to bed and get up early, was that I had my brothers keep me accountable so that if I don't get up on time, I'm not allowed to have my morning coffee. I love this morning coffee. Call me a caffeine addict if you want, but it energizes me, it makes me laser focused, and I just simply love the taste of some smooth, dark coffee in the morning. Mwah. So this was a massive motivation for me to get up on time. An important thing about getting up on time is what I call the free will principle. You choose naturally as a human being, whether you've known this or not, whatever you want to do with your autonomous mind and free will. You choose with your own mental autonomy what you're going to do. So the key is that you choose to do what you perceive will make you happier in life. That's a survival mechanism of us human beings. So for me, getting up on time, it took me to perceive that life is going to be much happier feeling a bit of pain when I get up early, but then getting to enjoy my morning coffee and deep work after I do. The thing is that you can't get up if you're thinking about, if I don't get up, then this and this bad thing will happen. because we humans don't learn from negative reinforcement. You may have heard of that before, and it's very true. So in order to get up, you have to be thinking, getting up will make me happier because X and X. You have to be pursuing something you believe will genuinely make your life better. Having the accountability with my morning coffee makes me realize getting up and getting to have my morning coffee is going to make me much happier than staying up late tonight and sleeping in tomorrow. I'm pursuing that which I perceive will make me truly happier. So the practical, actionable step that you can take in this section to make sure you get up when you want to in the morning is to get a friend or sibling to keep you accountable so that if you don't get up on time, you don't get to have X the next day. That could be coffee like me, or it could be anything you like, some kind of treat, or maybe you could also do your pre-workout before the gym. I know how much you little children like pre-workout, little babies. Pathetic. Choose something that basically scares you to give up a little bit. So coffee is something that gives me energy, keeps me from being tired, and helps me focus on my work. So giving that up is a pain in the ass because I'm fighting my tiredness and lack of focus all day. I fight the brain fog and the tiredness in the middle of the afternoon. It's a pain in the ass. So that's painful. So choose something that maybe scares you a bit to think about giving up right now. It could be anything you want, just as long as it's painful to give up. The third and final tactic that I use to get good sleep every night and get up on time every morning is what I call the fairy tale method. If your parents read you fairy tales before bed when you were a child, then you know how said fairy tales had a kind of magical effect in getting you to fall asleep. For some reason, one of the best method doctors have found that I've used countless times to get to bed on time is to read fiction books. I don't know the science or psychology behind why this works so well, but it fucking does. Anytime I read a novel in bed, it knocks me out cold within 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of reading. So before you go to bed tonight, have a fiction book ready to read, sitting on your bed so that you can read it while you lay in bed. The crucial point here is that the book has to be fiction. It can't be history or psychology or self-improvement or whatever. Reason being, these books will put your brain in work or do mode, and they'll make it really hard for you to go to sleep because it's going to make your brain more wakeful, not more restful, which is not exactly what we wanted. The book has to be fiction because, for whatever reason, fiction rests your mind and relaxes your body. That's all I've got to cover for today, boys. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Click and watch this video right now. Shut out the noise. Do the work.